Pope Francis warns in an unusually candid and lengthy interview that the Church must balance its diverse rules and its moral edifice will fall like a house of cards. Joining me now from Milan is Wall Street Journal special writer Deborah Ball. Deborah, this was a very lengthy interview. Tell us the crux of it, the house of cards. What's he really warning of here?
Well, it's first of all, it's an extraordinary thing for a pope to give such a broad, sort of free-ranging interview. I mean, the interview was 12,000 words. He gave it over 3 days in August. The message you seem to want to send is to really pull the church a bit away from what's become a very politicized debate around abortion, conception, and gay marriage, particularly in the U.S. He's been sort of reprimanded by some bishops, particularly in the U.S., that he hasn't taken a real strong public stance on this, hasn't been public in sort of joining the conservative stance on these issues. He certainly reiterated that he sees no change in church teachings whatsoever, that he wants to pull the church more towards its sort of pastoral roots and to pull it away from this such a politicized debate.
Well, I want to read a quote from one of the quotes, which is very good here. It's the quote: "The Church's pastoral ministry cannot be obsessed with the transmission of a disjointed multitude of doctrines to be imposed insistently. We have to find a new balance, otherwise even the moral edifice of the Church is likely to fall like a house of cards, losing the freshness and fragrance of the gospel." More broadly, he doesn't want divisive issues to repel people away from the church. That's the crux of this matter, right?
It is. I mean, his whole papacy, as young as it is, it's only been 6 months now, has been really aimed at bringing people back to what they see or he sees as the core of the church. There are real church teachings, and all of his initiatives, the way he's been living and what he's been talking about, is all about humility, serving the poor, the real, as he calls it, the real message of the Gospels, and getting away from these really very divisive, difficult debates around these issues, which he doesn't deny are out there. But he says he basically thinks it's obscuring the real mission of the church. And again, everything he's done in the past 6 months, whether it's been all the symbolic gestures he's made, how he's living, he doesn't wear very regal vestments anymore. He's living in a very simple way. Is really meant to kind of reaffirm the core faith of the church.
These comments on not getting bogged down in dogma and really going the pastoral route, how do you think that will be viewed in the U.S.? I mean, obviously the U.S. church has been racked by scandal, notably the sex abuse scandal. What do you think, Deborah?
Well, I mean, clearly the U.S. Church, at least some bishops, have come quite close to the conservative line, have been very vocal about talking about the issue, particularly around abortion in the U.S. And there have been public comments recently with some bishops expressing very explicitly the disappointment that the Pope has not spoken publicly about it. So it probably won't go down terribly well for those who are looking for a really strong statement on this, sort of the way that Pope Benedict and Pope John Paul II were very clear in backing up that line. And again, this is certainly this current Pope is not renouncing or at all any of the core teachings on these topics, which he expressly says in the church. But he says it's perhaps misguided for the focus of it to be so strong that the Catholics, the church, misses the moral sort of center, which is why he gets at this house of cards. The moral edifice of the church can fall like a house of cards. It's quite a strong statement.
Really quite a strong statement. Thank you very much, Deborah Ball of the Wall Street Journal.